I wrecked my dad's dream Mustang, then tried to make it look like someone took it. I was 16 when I wrecked my dad's cherry red 1967 Mustang, the one he'd rebuilt for 8 years. He'd promised it to me for my 18th if my grades stayed up, and he didn't let my mom drive it because he said she didn't get it. One rainy Thursday night, Dad was on a work trip until Sunday, and my weather app kept warning hail was coming. I figured I'd be a hero and just move the Mustang from the driveway into the garage. 30 feet, that's it. I started it, the engine rumbled, and the wipers squeaked across the windshield. I backed up slow, but the tires slid on the wet driveway, and my brain short-circuited. I went for the brake and hit the gas. The car jumped and slammed into our neighbor's concrete mailbox post. The hood folded up, the front end crumpled, and green coolant poured out and mixed with the rain, running in little streams down the driveway. The paint was scraped down to bare metal, and the headlights stayed on like they were judging me. I just sat there, gripping the wheel, crying, thinking about my dad in the garage every weekend, grease on his hands, telling me this car would be worth more than our house someday. After almost an hour, I called my best friend, Tyler. He pedaled over soaked, took one look, and whispered, "Dude, your dad is going to destroy you." I should have told the truth right then. Instead, I made the worst decision of my life. I told Tyler we had to make it look like someone stole it and crashed it. He stared at me, then nodded like he didn't see a better option. We put the car in neutral and started pushing, trying to stay quiet. The tires squealed and slipped. My shoes skidded in puddles, and every time headlights came down the street, we froze and held our breath. 2 blocks felt endless, and my hands wouldn't stop shaking. We shoved it into the empty lot behind Walmart and left it angled like it was driven in fast and dumped. My hands were shaking so bad I dropped the keys twice in the mud. I wiped the steering wheel, the shifter, and the door handle with my hoodie sleeve like that could erase anything. Then I walked home, heart pounding, and hung the keys right back on the hook by the door. The next morning, I discovered the empty driveway and started acting like my life was over. I called my dad first, before the police, because I wanted him to hear my fake panic. "Dad," I said, forcing tears, "the Mustang's gone. I think someone stole it last night. I'm so sorry. I already called 911. He went silent, then his voice got tight. "Okay," he said, "stay there." The police showed up while it was still drizzling. Officer Martinez kept trying to write on a notepad that kept getting wet. He asked when I last saw the car, if the doors were locked, if we had cameras. I answered fast and shaky, trying to sound confused instead of guilty. Martinez asked to see our spare keys. My stomach dropped so hard I almost said the truth. I handed him the set off the hook, praying he wouldn't notice the fresh mud on the little Mustang key. He turned it over, frowned, then just said, "Keep these safe," and moved on while my mom watched me like she was trying to read my face. They told us thefts were common and they'd keep an eye out. 3 hours later, my phone rang. They'd found the Mustang crashed in the lot behind Walmart. I had to pretend to be shocked all over again. I said yes when they asked if I wanted to see it because I knew I had to stick to the lie. I went with my mom, stood there staring at the wreck, and nodded while the officer talked about towing. I kept waiting for my dad to call and scream. Instead, when we got back home, Dad was standing in the driveway in the rain. He'd caught an emergency flight back, no umbrella, his shirt soaked through. He didn't look angry. That somehow felt worse. I started talking too fast. "Dad, I'm so sorry. I don't know who." He held up a hand. "Let's go see it," he said, flat and calm. At the lot, he walked slow circles around the Mustang, studying every dent and scrape. He ran his fingers along the bent metal, then crouched under the front bumper. "Come here," he said. My legs felt weak as I stepped closer. He pointed at the twisted frame. Caught in the mangled metal was a small strip of bright blue fabric. I knew it instantly because it matched the hoodie I'd worn the night before. My throat closed up. Dad didn't raise his voice. He just looked at me and asked, quiet as the rain, "Want to tell me what really happened?" And that was it. I broke. I told him everything. The hail warning, the 30 feet, my foot hitting the wrong pedal, the mailbox post, the pushing, the lie, all of it. When I finally stopped, I was shaking and staring at the mud by my shoes. Dad didn't yell. He just put a heavy hand on my shoulder and said, "The car can be fixed, but